Good morning, students. Today I want to start chapter 8, that is quick basic. So earlier we have done in the previous year the logo commands, logo programs, is not it? So in class 5 we have done GW basic. So similar to GW basic, another programming language, that is quick basic. So the commands are similar, only the platform, that means the screen is different. The commands are almost similar. So since you are having in the chapter quick basic, so let us learn the quick basic. So first of all, let me explain you what is quick basic. This is one of the programming language like GW basic. So only the difference is that GW basic is developed by one programmer and quick basic is developed by another programmer. So that is the only difference. So the quick basic is also very popular. So some more advantages are there in the quick basic over GW basic. So let us take out the page number 93. First paragraph, let me read out. A language made up of instructions for a computer is called a programming language. Quick basic is a simple yet powerful programming language which can be used to make programs to solve problems and draw graphics. It is a Microsoft's version of the popular basic pro. That means it is a this program is developed by Microsoft company. So that's why it is a Microsoft version. So basic programming language. The Q in quick Q basic stands for quick. Basic stands for beginners all purpose symbolic instruction code. You have to remember that. You have learned in previous class also. Basic stands for what? Beginners all purpose symbolic instruction code. You can underline in your book. And Q stands for quick. So what is the full form of quick basic? Quick beginners all purpose symbolic instruction code. Now let us start. That means how to start quick basic. So now just have a look on the screen. To start the quick basic, you have to type here quick basic, say quick basic here. Here is the program you see. So my screen is open, quick basic. So here this is the window for quick basic. You can see on your book, you can compare. So say here this is the quick basic editor. You can see in the last paragraph it is written, this is the screen which is used to write programs. Here we will write the programs. So it is called quick basic editor. This editor is used as the facilities and convenience to work. There are two parts of basic editor. One is, go to the page number 94. One is program mode and another is intermediate mode. So what is the difference between program mode and intermediate mode? In program mode, commands are not executed immediately. That means what? When multiple lines we will write it in program mode, and intermediate means it will be written in each and that means in one line, and it will be executed immediately. So in program mode, let us read out from the book what it is written. In program mode, commands are not executed immediately and are stored in computer's memory. It will be stored in computer's memory for future use. In this, we type the program and then press F5 key to execute the program. But in immediate mode, commands are executed immediately and are not stored in computer's memory. That is, as soon as we press the enter key, the line is executed automatically. Now come to the quick basic editor. You can see the editor on the screen. So here are three bar you can see. One is menu bar, scroll bar and status bar. So menu bar means what? These are the menus. See, you can see on the screen: file, edit, view, search, run, options. So in your book one more option is there, debug. So my quick basic version is different. In your book it is different. That's why one menu can be that means added in the new version. The menu is added here. One more feature, debug, is given. Nothing to worry. So here after that you can see one by one. Let us see in your book according to book. Let us go. So file, you can go to the file. Here are the options: new, open, save, save as, exit. Then edit, here are some options. Then view, then search, then how to run the program, then some options. So these are the menus inside the main menus. These are sub menus. So like that you can see the uses. Now let me go to the page number 95. Come to the 95 page number. So here that is above the topic, that is file menu, the steps. These are not so important in theory part, just how to use that they have explained you. Come to the main part, that is page number 95, variables and constants. Now what is variable and constants? So let us explain it by giving you one example. I am skipping the topic up to 97. I will come back later on. Let me first explain you what is the meaning of variables and constant by giving one example here. So let us type one program here. It's page number 98. Come to the page number 98 and see some examples are written. So let us type print three names with print variation. So let us type a program. One program, so CLS. Now what is the use of CLS? These all commands, the uses, it is being given to you in page number 97, and that you will go through and you will learn it, but you will listen to my audio and just try to understand what is the meaning of these commands. So one by one, whenever we will get these commands, I will explain. Say CLS. What is the function of CLS? That means whenever the program will run, it will execute, the program will come in the new screen and then in the neat and clean. That means it will first clear the screen, then the output you will get. So I will show you simultaneously the output, how it is coming. So CLS, you can see whenever I am typing the command CLS in the small letter, automatically it is converting into capital letter. So now let a dollar is equal to, say here in your book it is written Mahima. So let me write Mahima. Now here inside the inverted comma, whenever you will write your name, you will write inside the inverted comma, and how you will write, it will print as it is. Say you are writing in small letter, it will come in small letter. So let us see Mahima, enter. See, automatically let is converted into capital letter. So Mahima is not converted because inverted comma, inside the inverted comma, how you will write, that way only it will be printed. So now let again another variable. Now let me show you which one is variable and which one is constant. Now you look at my you follow the cursor where I am moving. Here let a dollar. So this a dollar is a variable and Mahima is the constant. Now variable means what? Variable means what? Address of memory, that is inside the computer memory. the name given to the memory location, it is called variable, and where we are keeping our data, that means this data is Mahima. So Mahima is constant, and we are keeping the Mahima, we are storing the Mahima in $. So $. is the variable. So now you just come back to your page number 95. Page number 95. Let us see what the constant and variable they have explained. Data in QBasic is stored in constants and variables. There are specific uses of these two different data types. Constants are the data that never changes. That means that Mahima, whatever you have written, that will never be changes, that is remains constant. Whereas the variables are the data that have the ability to be changed, that is vary. It will vary. That's why its name is variable. I want to give you another example. Say last year Ajay was in class 5. So Ajay is constant and class 5 is a variable. Now in this year, same Ajay is promoted to class 6. So class 6 is a variable, but Ajay remains constant. So Ajay is constant and class 6 is a variable. That means Ajay is storing, last year Ajay was stored in class 5, and this year Ajay is being stored in class 6. So the name Ajay is constant and the class is a variable. So like that, say x equal to, you will get in your maths, you will assume some value in the variable, let x equal to 5. That means what? The 5 is a constant, and we are assuming that x become let the x becomes let x equal to 5 means in x we are storing the value 5. So x is a variable and 5 is a constant. So many example in your book it is given. You go through it, and I have explained in my own way. Whichever you feel easy, you can understand. Some more examples they have given in your page number 96. Come to the page number 96. A variable is in memory location, contents of which keep on changing during the working of a program. Now here you can see there are many types of variable. There are numerical variable. When the number will store in the variable, that means the variable is a numerical variable. When the character or name is stored in the variable, then the variable is called string variable. You can see in the table it is given, type page number 96, numeric variable, it stores the numeric constant. Say x equal to 75. 75 is a constant, so x is a numeric variable and 75 is a numeric constant. And $, whenever you will use to store a name, address, that is character, you have to use with the variable as $. You can see here I have used $. Since it is a character, it is a string, so it will be stored in the variable, but after the variable you have to use a $sign. This is the $sign. Shortcut S is there in your keyboard that you have to use. So remember that whenever you will use string variable, you have to use $sign followed by, that means the variable. So now constant, there are two constants again, numeric constant and string constant. So string constant you have to follow the inverted comma, you have to write inside the inverted comma. In your book it is given to you, you can follow it. So let us do one program so that you will get interest what is going on. So let $A is equal to Mahima, let $B is equal to Pratibha. So let us give $B. Pratibha, let. Now you have to be very conscious about writing the variable. If you are writing the variable in capital letter, it will be capital letter. If you are writing in small letter, it will be small letter. So whenever you will print the value, so mind that you have to be careful when you are giving the variable. So in the variable you are giving small letter, so you have to use in the print statement small letter. Okay, so let us see. I will show you what will happen if you change the variable name when you are using in the print. So print, say again I am giving this capital letter $C is equal to Sakshi. Sakshi. Now let means what? You are storing the value to the variable. So storing is finished. Now you want to print it on the screen. You want to show the name which you have stored in the memory on the screen. So to show or to print the output, to show the output, you have to use the print command. So now let means what? What is the use of let? Let means whenever you will store some value to the variable, you have to give the statement let. So that's why let is called assignment statement. What it is called? Assignment statement. Now I am using print statement to view the output on the screen. So print, then you will give space. You will give space. Now I am giving here, you see, $. You will press shift key when you press dollar, comma, then again I am giving the capital letter. You mind it, you see what the mistake I am doing. I want to show you the error what it will come. Now in your book it is given semicolon. Can you see $, semicolon, $, semicolon, $C, semicolon, is not it? So what will happen? Let us see. Then end. So this is how the program. Now what you will do after writing end, enter. Here you see OK, done. Then OK means what? It has been given OK, means your program is finished. Now you have to execute the program. To execute the program, you go to the run. See, start. You can go in this way or straight way in the keyboard you can press F5 key. So start. You can see here now the data is processing, creating exe file. It will take some time. Creating exe file. See here, starting program, output came. Whenever the thing will come, starting program, the screen will come. You can see here the output is there. Can you see, all of you? You can compare with your program. See output. Mahima, Pratibha, Sakshi. Since I have given here print, print means what? The output you will not get of let. Let means what? It will store the value to the variable in the memory. That is internal part. So whatever the output you will get by print statement. Whatever you have written, print $. What is the $. stored? Mahima. So Mahima. Now if I give comma, it will give 5 spaces. It will give a long space. Then $. Can you see $? I have given $. So what they have done, they have automatically corrected my program. Before that you have seen I have shown you $, capital B I have given, but it has corrected automatically. So $, then $C. So Pratibha, in $, it is Pratibha, and $C it is Sakshi. So according to that the output came. Now they have given you press any key to continue. Any key on the keyboard you press, you will come back to your original editor. So now I want to show you by giving the semicolon what will happen. Now again run. After giving this one, then you will give this one, then you will give AND. After editing, again you will come here and then you will give press enter key, then OK will come. That means only it will edit, otherwise not. Go to start again. See here, creating exe file, it will take some time. See starting program. So after starting program, now you can see what the output came. Mahima, Pratibha, Sakshi, no spaces between them. So if you give comma, it will give a long space between them, and if you give semicolon, there will be no spaces. That is the difference. So I think you have understood how to run the program. Another program I want to show you, which is the example 2, by showing you the addition of 3 values. So let us go to file, then new. Now they are asking whether you want to save this file. If you want to save this file, you give yes and give the file name here. So they have already given for you. So if you want to change, now remember when you will give the file name, so that can you see the .bas you don't rub, only the file name you change. So file name, say you can give printing name. What related file I have done? Printing name. Don't give spaces between the characters. .bas. So OK, give OK. So it is being stored, saved. Now come to the new. Already came. Now have you seen CLS? What is the function of CLS? So let us start with without CLS. Let us start without CLS. What will happen? Let me show you. A is equal to say 56. Let B is equal to 45. Let C is equal to 30. Then let sum, another variable I have given, I can give multiple letters in the variable. Let sum is equal to A plus B plus C, and then I have to print the result. If I don't print, then how I will come to know the result? So where is the result stored? In sum. And OK. Let us start. Can you see the output came? Let us see. 56 plus 45 plus 30. What it is coming? That means the error is coming in the let B is equal to 45. It is not adding. So let B is equal to, because I have not given any space here. Can you see here? So that's why only 56 plus 30 they have added. So let us try again. Let us do the correction here. Now, sorry, after doing that you come to the end of the line, then give enter, then again run. So what it is coming? It is coming 86 again. It is coming 86 again. That means it is the last one, last result already coming. So let us try again. Go to the file, new. Let us try again. Let 30. A is equal to 30. Let B is equal to 20. Let C is equal to 25. Then print, sorry, here I have to give let sum is equal to A plus B plus C. Print sum. Now let us see, and enter, run. Now can you see the answer? 30 plus 20 is 50, 50 plus 25 is 75. Can you see? So this is how we will do the small programs, and up to this much today, this much let us understand, and next day I will give you some more programs you will do yourself. So those who are not having the computer at home, so don't worry, you write the programs on your copy, and when I will ask, you will show me how the programs you have done. So thank you all of you. Let's see in the next week.